Russia has slammed the EU's decision to drop the Syria arms embargo as counterproductive towards finding a diplomatic solution. Moscow says it will continue to supply air defense missiles to Damascus, calling it a balance designed to deter foreign intervention in Syria. Well, we have in the studio our Sean Thomas for more on this. So, Sean, what's Moscow's reasoning behind delivering on the missile supply deal?
Well, the first thing you have to understand is these are old existing contracts that were signed before the Syrian conflict even began. So in some ways, Russia is obligated to fulfill these contracts. So that's the one way of looking at it. But it is interesting, the timing today, in the wake of the EU allowing this arms embargo to expire. This paves the way for different countries to individually start arming the rebels. So the Foreign Ministry and the Russian President's office, they have expressed their disappointment in this decision, saying that it undermines the international peace process, something that they've been working very hard for. In fact, this week, Lavrov and Kerry meeting to try and get something going on that side of things.
Yeah, and we know the peace conference will be taking place later.
Indeed. And what Russia is saying is that this move by the EU is a double standard policy which directly affects the prospect of having an international peace conference on the topic of Syria. So the timing is very interesting, but the bottom line is that these are old contracts, existing contracts for a defensive weapon for the Assad regime.
Okay, now another question here is, can Russia's defense systems be used to influence events on the ground in Syria?
The short answer is no, but obviously it's a little bit more complicated than that. The S-300 is an air defensive weapon, and it cannot be used in ground-to-ground combat. It can't be used against the rebel forces, if you will. It's specifically designed for air combat. Now, Russia is using this as an opportunity to reiterate that point, something that they've been saying all along. Now, the controversy, of course, is the international community looks at this as Russia is siding with the Assad regime. They're arming Assad. This is not the case. As we mentioned before, these are old contracts.
Yes, they have to carry on.
They have to carry out.
Yes.
But the thing of it is that these are defensive weapons. And Russia says that this is specifically even a stabilizing factor, because what it does is it prevents hothead regimes, other countries, foreign forces from getting involved in the Syrian conflict.
Exactly, because we don't know, where will the weapons end up, the weapons that the West is going to supply to Syria, and what sort of hands will they get into. All right, Sean, thanks very much indeed for explaining the situation to us. And of course, we continue here on RT to talk about the recent EU move here on Syria, and we'll be bringing you more analysis. For now, Sean Thomas, thanks for this update.